For the Hawkeye fans who loved offense, 1986 was a year that was filled with enjoyment. During 86, the Hawkeyes scored, on the average, over 32 points per game, more than any other team in the Big Ten. One of the reasons the Iowa offense was cranking out yardage that made them the 9th best in the nation was the blocking precision of the offensive line. And no finer example of this can be found than in the person of Dave Croston. A 6'5", 280-pound senior from Sioux City, Iowa, Croston, who operated from the left tackle position, received more postseason honors in 1 year than many receive in an entire career. He was named as a first-team All-American by 4 major publications, was a consensus All-Big Ten first-team selection, was voted the conference's Offensive Lineman of the Year, was a finalist in the Outland Trophy balloting. Croston was also named to the Big Ten's All-Academic team and represented Iowa in the Japan Bowl. Fitting rewards for this 4-year letter winner. Croston comments on the offensive line.
The tradition we formed to send players to the pros, I think a lot of it has to do with the way our coach teaches techniques, the same techniques the pros use. And he recruits offensive linemen that have the ability as athletes, not necessarily as great offensive linemen in high school, but they have the potential to become good linemen in college.
With one of the biggest and most effective offensive lines in college football, it was no real surprise that the Iowa offense produced another 1,000-yard rusher. Yet the surprise came in the fact that it was a walk-on who began the season as a second-team running back, who became only the 3rd running back in Iowa history to gain over 1,000 yards in a single season. An effort that clearly made Rick Bayless the Cinderella story of 1986 for the Iowa football team. Bayless, who's 6 foot, 200 pounds, and calls Hugo, Minnesota home, simply stated is the model blueprint of an all-around performer. During the 86 season, Bayless was the Big Ten's 2nd leading rusher, 2nd leading scorer among all running backs and receivers, and was the 6th leading receiver in Big Ten play. Bayless, who will use his 5th year of eligibility in 87, was justifiably named to the first-team All-Big Ten squad by the Associated Press and was voted the Hawkeyes' most valuable player in 1986. While the Iowa offense was relentless in its efforts to put points on the scoreboard, the Hawkeye defense was equally as intense. At season's end, the Iowa defense was the best in the Big Ten, and a major reason for its success was the outstanding play of linebacker George Davis. Davis, a 6'1", 221-pound senior from Des Moines, Iowa, moved from the strong side to the weak side to fill the giant vacancy left by the graduation of All-American Larry Station. The result was 121 tackles, the tops on the Hawkeye team, and only 8 less than Station's number from the year before. For his efforts, Davis received honorable mention All Big Ten honors from the Associated Press. Another outstanding performance at linebacker was delivered by freshman Brad Quast, a 6'2", 225-pounder from Des Plaines, Illinois. Quast, whose father played for the NFL's Baltimore Colts, proved that the football bloodline continued by being named All Big Ten honorable mention by the Associated Press, while making the Football News freshman All-American team and being voted as the nation's #1 freshman linebacker by the Sporting News. One of the reasons the Hawkeyes possessed the #1 defense of the nation during the first part of the season was the stabilizing influence of defensive tackle Jeff Drost. Drost, a 6'5", 286-pound senior from Waukee, Iowa, had an amazing season considering he missed about half of the Big Ten campaign. After being injured in the Michigan game, head coach Hayden Fry said that Drost would probably miss the rest of the year. To quote Coach Fry, "The doctors say there's no way he'll make it back in the regular season. However, if anyone could return, it would be Drost." Return he did. To the amazement of almost everyone, he was among the starters listed when the Hawkeyes left Iowa City for the season finale against Minnesota. Despite missing almost half of the season, Drost was still the 4th best in the Big Ten in quarterback sacks, was a consensus All Big Ten selection, earned honorable mention All-American recognition from the Associated Press, and was nominated for the Lombardi Award. A 4-year letter winner, Drost also represented Iowa in the Japan Bowl. Lining up alongside Drost to solidify the Hawkeye interior was nose guard Dave Haight. A 6'3", 260-pound junior from Dyersville, Iowa, Haight ended the season leading the Hawkeyes in tackles for a loss. Was voted a consensus All-Big Ten performer, honorable mention All-American, and was a runner-up in the conference's balloting for Defensive Lineman of the Year.